Yeah, what's up? So I will do a VOD review for you for your Ana gameplay. I do play a bit of Ana, and I'm not much better than you. I'm Plat 1, but I figured I would at least watch it and give you tips. With that being said, there will be people better than me, so if there's better advice out there, please feel free to give that advice. I like to sleep. It's always nice just to use your cooldowns. Even if you miss them, or if they, get eaten by Diva, it is always good just to use it. Um, right there. So you throw your nade. I know it's small. I feel like you could have just healed them instead of using your nade. Especially in 5v5, I love to use my nade offensively instead of... Okay, you only have one ammo left. Okay. Maybe that was the right call. But yeah, I always like to use my nade offensively if possible. Yeah, and like right there, it's just like peeking the enemy. It's kind of standing in the open. A lot of Ana play is positioning. A lot of it is just setting yourself up into a good position and making sure you can heal your team and also shoot the enemy. For this instance, like, I think I would play in that room to your right a little bit more, because you have cover. But it also, like, kind of depends, like, where your tank is playing, too. Like, standing right here is just a really bad idea. Like, that Ashe is peeking you. Like, how do I pause? Like, I would play in this room, right? Like, I would play in here, and you still have LOS of your team, and that Ashe can't get you. But, like, standing, like, right here is, like, really bad. Just because, like, everyone can kind of see you, you know? Like, you want to always have angles with Ana. You always want to make sure that, like, you can see your team, and the enemy can't see you, and you can see the enemy, you know? So that's just something to think about. Like, I am noticing like you are just kind of standing in the open. Like I would be playing back here in this room.
Heroes never die.
Good sleep. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think this also kind of goes like back to the positioning thing. So right here, instead of pushing forward this way, right? On this map, on King's Row, pretty much no matter what hero you're playing, if it's tank, if it's DPS, if it's support, you always want to wrap around the statue this way. Okay? And you want to get this angle on them. Because you have this cover, and you have long sight lines of your team over here. Walking forward this way is not super great, as you find out. Yeah, and you get punished for it. They just run you down. Even better, like, if you wanted to, you could take the high ground. I know the Ashe is up there, but your Sojourn is also here. So, instead of wrapping around here, you could just go up top. But that is a bit riskier because you would have to fight the Ashe up there. And she is a problem. So, that's just something to think about. Using nade there is kind of a waste. Part of Ana is like hitting your shots. Like you could easily just hit your shots there and not waste nade. And you could use nade on that Ashe right now. Force her out a little bit. Not a terrible nano, but a bit early. Again, you're wasting nade. And I don't know if you saw, but like you slept the turret. So like the nano is a bit early. We'll go back over this. I like the way that your tank is taking. See, they're wrapping around the statue that way. So, super early. Super early. You want to wait until they're at least engaged with the enemy to nano. But it is better than holding your nano, right? But look how far they are from the enemies right now. So, the closest enemy is this Torb over here. And she's a Zarya, so she can't really do much from that distance. So that is just something to think about as well. A bit early on the nano there. But that's okay. Right here, you're throwing nade. You have 14... You have your whole clip, right? And you're throwing nade for a Zarya that isn't even half health. So you're wasting nade. Instead of throwing it at the Zarya, here I would have thrown it at that Torb. Or thrown it over here. Force them back. So that's something to think about is your nade usage. You kind of throw it off cooldown when you shouldn't be. Right here, I don't know if you're trying to hit the Torb. But you yeet your sleep at the turret. And like, you just can't sleep turrets. Again, I think it's good that you're actually using your cooldowns, because a lot of Anas don't, and they hold them forever. But it's about how you're using it, right? So, just think about that. You know, be more cautious about how you're using your cooldowns.
It's go time.
Another thing is that I'm noticing you're missing a lot of your shots. So you aren't scoping in a lot. I don't know if you know this, but if you're shooting your gun as Ana when you're not scoped in, it's a projectile, so it has a travel time. If you're scoped in, it's hit scan, it has no travel time. And personally, I think it's easier to hit as when you're scoped in. That's something to think about. Is I think even at this closer range, I think you should be scoping in to hit more of your shots. You did let your Sojourn die. You could have hit shots there. Yeah, that's just, you're just missing shots. It's a good anti, but your whole team is dead, so it doesn't even matter. It's pretty bad res by Mercy, but... Or maybe not. Sorry about my dog.
60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, like, right here, like, the positioning's bad. Like, I want to see you play in this room over here. That way you have sightlines of your Zarya. And I want to see you scope in more. Also, like, you are kind of like you are throwing anti at the enemy, but like you're throwing it at times that like no one could even follow up on it anyway. Like half the part of playing Ana is like creating opportunities for your team, right? So like you want to be able to anti the enemies, but you want to anti them at a time that your team can like follow up on it, or that you can follow up on it. You know, it's not so bad like throwing it just like you did, but it's just something to think about. Like throwing it there, even if you anti them, no one's gonna follow up on that. I like the scoping in here. I would like to see you play a little further back and not be on the point. Like Ana is like mid-range sniper, you know? Nice sleep, good sleep, great anti. Yeah, like while your team is fighting and stuff, I'd like to see you play back a little further. Not on the point, maybe back here, because you have cover. You can play scoped in, which is what you should be doing on Ana, is scoping in, not the hip fire shots. And you still have your visual of the enemy, so you can DPS as well. So just watching right now, like cooldown usage and positioning is what I'm noticing. Um, you're playing a bit too close as Ana. Like I'd play further back where your Mercy's at, basically.
10 seconds remaining.
I love how no one sees that freaking Ash. It's funny.
Captured. Escort
So here, like, someone has to take care of her. Like, you're the only one aware. It's not too bad, but your team is still unaware, except for the Torb. That is pretty frustrating. Um, so the Ash is still up there. Let's see what happens. So part of being a support and just playing the game solo queued is you can't rely on your team, right? You can't just ping and then like expect your team to do something. You have to do it, you know. And I know you're Ana, I know you're a support, but if I were you, I would be walking up to that Ana and or to that Ash, and I'd be trying to shoot her. I would walk up super close to her, not super close to her, but I would fight her. Right? I would go into this room. I would find her. I'd sleep her, and I'd win the 1v1. Letting an Ash sit back there is just I just legit can't let that happen. I understand like you want to help your team here, but it what's better than doing what you're doing right now would be killing the flanking Ash. So that's just something to think about. Take matters into your own hand. Like you play this, Ana is one of the strongest supports in the game. Like you can win a lot of 1v1s. That is just something to think about. Let's see what happens though. Yeah, the Ash is. Yeah. So both their DPS are just flanking. It is super frustrating. I get it. But this is something that it's like you kind of just have to take into your own hands. Like that Ash should have been taken care of like a minute ago. Typing probably to get the Ash.
The payload will not move unless we move.
Nice, get the turret because the turret can't miss. So right here, my bad. So right here, like I would be. Let's see. All right. After you get this turret, I would be walking into this room and taking the high ground, and then I'd be walking all the way around to clear this high ground and make sure the Ash isn't there. I would walk all the way through here, all of this. I would walk all the way there, and I would make sure that no one is there. I would clear it because your team's not going to do it. You have to be the one to do it. That's how you climb, right? You have to be the better player. So right now, cooldown usage, I would work on aim a lot more. Just get better at your aim. Practice scoping in and using scope in. Good, Andy. And don't. I saw the vision there. I saw the vision to nano the Torb. It's okay, that happens. That was a good nano. But yeah, and then being more aggressive, right? Like taking the initiative to get that flanking Ash. Like that's something that like I don't know. I would have just been on that shit. I like that you're shooting turret. So right here again, like you're playing very close. You're playing super super close for no reason. Your positioning is not great. Look at where you are compared to your team. Your DPS are both behind you. Part of the like flexibility and like coolness of Ana is that she's a sniper, right? Like you can set yourself up in very safe positions and still do damage and heal your team. Your job isn't necessarily to push card. Sometimes it is. Your main job is to be safe, right? Play in a safe position and heal your team. Right here, like once we got the cart around this corner, instead of like pushing up with my team, like you're so close, like you're so close. I don't know. I would be up here, right, or down here around this corner. You just have better sight lines of everything, and you can keep your team alive, and you can play scoped in and get better heals. I mean, you guys probably die here. I like to sleep. I see the vision. See, like following, like the way that you're playing is that you're like trying to like get your tank healed and stuff, but like you're sacrificing your position for it, which is like really, really bad. And like in higher ranks, you'll 100% be punished for that. It's really bad. Like there's so many better angles. Like think about it. Like you're trying to like heal your Orisa like when they are around this cart, you know? Like the way that you're playing, like you should be like where this Hanzo is basically. Not up here, you know? You're playing Ana way, way, way too close. And it's kind of scaring me. Like you need to play further back and just think about your positioning more. Just playing way too close. Just gonna play further back. They see 9. Good anti. Yeah, so just think about your positioning more. I think that's the main thing, is that you're just playing way too close.
We need to move the payload. Come here to get healed.
So another thing is like pathing and stuff. Like I know that, like think about it this way, like the way that I play is like I always like to be on the high ground. You know, I always like to take very safe paths. I always like to be on the high ground. Here out of spawn, you can come. I'm sorry, I don't know how to turn the freaking viewer, so but you can walk up here. Why is it doing that? Whatever. I'll show you. But basically you want to walk up there and play right here when you're coming out of spawn. You get a better view. Okay. Right here, I already know you're going to be playing close to your team. Come over here. Play next to this Mega. You want to position yourself next to health packs all the time as Ana. Yeah, you want to play right here. Get that sight line. You get this sight line. So yeah, positioning. That's the main thing right now.
60 seconds remaining.
Positioning, not scoping in. Very good sleep.
I see you. I'm at maximum strength.
One thing to think about though is, so even though that is a great sleep, right? Bam. You sleep her, and then you immediately throw your anti on her. And she probably has fade. We already know she has fade because she fades away. It's kind of a waste of your anti. You do have a Hanzo who can follow up on that and one-shot her. So if you ever sleep a squishy and they have a movement ability, don't automatically throw your anti because they're just gonna fade away, they're gonna blink away, they're gonna TP away, right? You always want to like at least wait, and in solo queue it's hard, but then you just want to ping. You want to ping the sleeping squishy, and you want your DPS to like headshot them. So throwing your nade there wakes them, and then they just instantly fade away. When you could have saved your nade, right? Throwing it there. You could have thrown it when they were all crit. It would have hit the crit teammates, and it would have hit your Malga. So that's something to think about, is using your anti on a sleeping squishy when they have movement ability. It's just kind of a waste.
I see you. I'm at maximum strength.
You do have very good. I would have nanoed the torp there. I know it happened quick, but that's just how the game is. Sometimes you have to be real quick.
We cannot give up on the payload. 30 seconds remaining.
Ultimate is doing job. Get away there. Destroy them.
Again, kind of like a waste of nano because their team is playing so far back, and like Orisa, like I know a lot of the time like nanoing the tank isn't the move. The only time I ever nano the tank is if they're about to die, if they're crit, right? I never nano my tank as like the initiator, like rarely ever, because it's not very good. And also you're doing it really early, like you're doing it so early. So like you nano, there is the Ashe there. Let's see how this plays out, because you nano your Orisa. And I'm gonna be honest, like they don't have the best aim, and they didn't even like go for the Ashe there. Like I would have been all over that Ashe. It's just kind of a waste, and they just back up, you know. So that is something that you should work on, and that I'm noticing you're doing is that you nano your tank a lot, which isn't necessarily bad, but you're doing it at the wrong time. And you're doing it when they're full health and when they're super far away from the enemy. So, kind of a waste of nano. One thing I'd like to do on Ana is I like to look at my team and see who I can actually nano and who can get a lot of value. On this comp, there's not a lot, but I would be nanoing this Torb. I know it sounds kind of troll, but Torb is super strong. Excuse me, sorry. Let me show you where I would have nanoed Torb. Right about here. Right? You have nano. I would have nanoed him right now. Even maybe a little bit before that. Because he gets nano, he gets full health. I don't know if he has his E, but he can press his E and he can just fucking run at this Malga and just shoot him. What a name. Thimbussy. But yeah. I mean I would be nanoing this Torb instead. So that is just something to think about.
Please move behind the barrier.
I offer something more.
Overtime.
I go out on my terms.
Okay. So you guys don't cap. That's not bad. Kings Road's kind of one of those maps where like the third point is super hard to cap. I have won plenty of games where we don't cap, and okay, Alari. So I don't play a lot of Alari, so this will be interesting. I don't know if you switch back, but I can do my best. I'm gonna just wrap this up then. The main things that I'm noticing are your positioning. You're playing way too close to your team, and you're taking angles that make no sense, and you're kind of like chasing the tank a bunch, which you shouldn't be doing. You can easily like reach the tank from a safer position. So I want you to think about that. If you do want to get better at Ana, I recommend watching ML7 play Ana because his positioning is amazing. He knows how to play safe. Also, Karku, he plays a lot of Ana. So, three things, right? I would work on your positioning, play it at a safer position, further away from your team, where you can see the enemy and you can see the team. Second, your cooldown usage. That goes for your sleeps, your nades, and your nanos. Your nades were often being thrown at times where your team couldn't follow up on them. Your sleeps were pretty much hit or miss. I would work. I like the way, not the way, but I like the amount of that you're using your cooldowns. But it's just like when you're using them, you know. So keep the frequency up, but think about what you're actually doing with it instead of just like yeeting it, you know. Your nanos, you just nanoed your tank. It's not always the play, right? In fact, I would say it's mostly not the play. Nanoing your tank when they're low and they're crit and they're in the middle of the fight just to keep them up is when I nano the tank. Most of the time you want to be looking to nano your DPS and get combos. Even if it's troll, like nano visor, like if you have a soldier, just be nanoing your soldier when he ults. You want to pair your nano with another ult, typically a DPS ult. And then thirdly, your aim, that can just come with practice, right? Like honestly, just grind Ana and keep playing her and work on aiming in instead of like hip firing. Because hip firing has a longer travel time for your heals, whereas aiming in, you can actually, it's like hit scan heals. So yeah, I mean, Not terrible, but definitely, there are things to work on. I think if you work on your positioning, I think that's the main thing. If you play further away, you're going to notice a big difference in how you're able to win fights. Once you start playing further away, the enemy has to come to you instead of them just like shooting you when you're right in front of them. And then you can start saving your sleeps for the flankers and things like that. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. This is my first time doing a VOD review like this, so if it was helpful, which I hope it was, hope you learned something. But cheers, thank you.